What's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on 4K Blu-ray. This isn't a review on how good or bad the movie is. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and the video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 8K. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 126 minutes, and the aspect ratio is 239:1. So there are black letterbox bars with no IMAX shots. If you want to watch the IMAX version, you're going to have to watch it on Disney+. And for the audio, it is in Dolby Atmos. Jumping over to the Atmos viewer, let's see how active the audio mix is. Right from Chapter 1, you can see that this is a static mix, just like all the other Marvel movies before it. There is wide channel usage, and you can also see how active the overhead channels are. Sound movement is spot on, with effects panning back to front, with effects flying above your head. Quieter scenes have good ambiance from all the channels, so you'll hear people off in the background in Chapter 2's wedding with spatial extension up top. Now, even though every action scene remains static, there's actually 4 times we get objects that dynamically move around the room, but only 2 are really worth mentioning. In Chapter 7, you'll hear voices swirl around the room that creates an in-your-head type of effect, which you can track the voices by those movements of the yellow balls. In Chapter 14, there's some swirling effects that circle around the room that last for a few seconds. There's also 2 other times with this kind of similar effect that last even shorter. So I'd say about 90% of the mix is static, except for those few times that I just mentioned. Bass response is decent, but for the type of action that's in this movie, I would have expected a whole lot more, especially coming from just watching Edge of Tomorrow, which also has a slightly gimped bass track, but it's also in a different league compared to this movie. Overall volume was also about 6 dB lower than Edge of Tomorrow or any other movie that I tried, but it was 6 dB louder than the Disney Plus stream. So yes, it's louder than the digital stream, but lower than every other movie that's not a Disney movie. If you're new to the channel and you're into new movies and audio and video gear and want to see more content like this, be sure to tap the subscribe button for new weekly videos. As for video quality, this might be the best looking Marvel movie yet. It's shot in 8K and it's a 4K crispy transfer, so there is no film grain. It's super clean. Now, I did watch this on Disney Plus when it first came out, so for all you guys watching on a TV or 16:9 projector screens, the IMAX Enhanced version is probably going to be the preferred way to watch it, since it stays full screen the entire time. It's also in Dolby Vision, whereas the disc is in HDR10. The disc does look tighter and cleaner over the Disney stream, which I did notice a little pixelization during the beginning with all that swirling red smoke. The physical copy didn't have any of these compression issues. Detail-wise, whether it's on the stream or a disc, you could see every little thread or pattern on Strange's cloak and costume. I could even see the hair follicles on his head. The CGI was equally as clean and detail-rich, if not a little cartoony, but that's kind of what you get with these Marvel movies nowadays.
Yeah, I'm aware of the customs.
As for the HDR, this is one of those movies that you're going to throw on to show off how bright and colorful your display is. It's got those bright, vivid, heavily saturated colors, and the overall picture brightness I'd put up there near Aquaman, at times. There's plenty of eye-squinting specular highlights from all the fiery explosions, and there's a ton of magical effects that are pretty eye-catching too. The black levels and shadow detail were excellent without any crush in the darker scenes, and the high contrast creates an excellent layer of separation. The only issue I had was when I compared it to the Disney Plus version. I felt that Dolby Vision did a better job of handling shadow detail. There was definitely more to be seen in certain dark shots, whereas on the disc, I had to go looking for the same details. It wasn't exactly crushing detail, but it was pretty close. Overall, this is one digitally clean 4K transfer, so for video quality, I'm gonna have to go with a 9.4. It's a fantastic quality transfer, it's 4K crispy, and will look great showing off on your display. For audio, I'm gonna go with an 8.4. This is a nice improvement over the Disney Plus stream. It's about 6 dB louder than the stream, and also the soundstage sounded more detailed and spacious, so it wasn't as compressed for dynamics. Bass response is also better than the stream, but it also doesn't dig as deep or have as much impact as you'd expect from all the big action scenes. That one negative aside, the overhead channels are very active, and the immersion level is one of the best for a Marvel movie. If the bass wasn't such a letdown, this would have been demo material. Disney was so close to giving us a complete standout transfer, but the audio came up short once again. Well, those are my thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on 4K Blu-ray. Have you seen it, and do you prefer the IMAX version on Disney Plus or the 4K Blu-ray? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Now, if you do want to grab this disc, I'll leave a link for it in the video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel even further and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video.